the 8th, 2025. If I could have a roll call, please.
Ann Bybee. Present. Kitty Moore.
Here.
Greg Bozzo. Pete Daly. Kavita Tonka. Or Reggie
I'm
Bakuta.
substituting.
Excellent. Rob Moore.
Here.
Carmen Montano. Or Evelyn Chua. Javid Elahi. Or Everett Olsheimer. Mark Turner. Or Marilyn Liebers.
Here.
Ellen Kamei.
Alternate.
Thank you. Ed Lowen.
Here.
George Casey.
Here.
Kelly Cox. Or Suds Jane. Tina Walia.
Here.
Chelsea Chang. Here. We have quorum.
Excellent. All right. With that, then we will go on to oral communications. Oral communications is that portion of the meeting which is reserved for those members of the public who wish to make comment on anything that is not on the agenda. Do we have any oral communications?
None online.
None online. Seeing none in the room, I will close that item and we will move on to the consent agenda. There is a sole item on the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from the Legislative Action Committee meeting of April the 10th of 2025. Any comments from Councilmember Moore?
Okay, so I would like to pull it from the consent agenda so that we can discuss the item and have some corrections. Do I need to have a second or anything to pull it off consent?
I don't mind offering to allow you to just pull it.
Okay, so with regards to the meeting minutes, we talked about SB 457, and that is not mentioned here. And I thought that we requested that the board would recommend to the board that they would consider a support position.
That is my recollection.
Okay, so there's no mention of that. And then also, I think it would be helpful that we list who the chair is of this committee, because your Chair Fruin is just listed as a member of the public, but you're actually the chair, and I think it should be indicated that you are the chair.
I think that's also reasonable.
I don't know if anyone else has any further additions, but there was, and I don't know if you should include it and add it, but there was a discussion about other bills that didn't make it. So we talked about 650.
Mhm.
And then there were a number of other bills. So I think perhaps all of the bills that were brought up during the meeting should be mentioned here, and then the ones that we took a position on should be addressed.
Sure. So to make that easy, the other bill that was on the list was SB 753, Cortese. And then continued from that meeting were AB 262, Caloza, AB 846, Connolly, SB 326, Becker, SB 252, Valladares, AB 66, Tangipa, AB 300, Lackey, and AB 261, Quirk Silva.
So Chair, typically we, what I have been told is that we only do action minutes. I'm happy to do more than action minutes if the committee so chooses.
Well, the action part needs to be, since we did take action on SB 457, but
I apologize for
thank
my
you.
oversight.
But isn't the continuation of these other items still an action?
I think that's reasonable to include.
And to that point, I did go to the videos just as a side issue. Went to the videos, and there are some that are missing from last year. And then I wanted to see all the position letters that were taken, and a number of years are missing online as well. So I wanted to see what position letters were sent out last year and the year before, if possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, it's not really a notice for that discussion, but if you want to respond quickly, you can.
Yeah. So, Vice Mayor, just a very quick response to just the last part, the website part. The ad hoc committee of the board is working on the website updates. I was LAC chair last year. I can assure you all the position letters from 2024 have been uploaded. They were uploaded last year. And some of the videos I've had the same challenge, and we have continued with very limited resources. So we are in the process with board president Larry Klein to work toward the website update. And in the budget at the board meeting last time, you saw that's an item. So it's in the works. And on behalf of the president, I would say I would appreciate if you could work with us. If you need anything specific, please reach out to Shally. That's what I've had to do as well. And I understand that. And I appreciate your patience.
I just want to apologize because our YouTube page channel, but it's very quirky. Because I remember you couldn't find a LAC meeting from last year. You have to go into playlist and choose LAC, and then all the it's not very intuitive.
Okay.
So so if you'd like, I can give you the links to. I can find them and give you the links.
Okay. And does this agenda have a future agenda items portion?
You are always welcome to send us what you would like as future consideration.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other further discussion on the minutes?
I just have a clarifying question. So if we voted to move forward, for example, SB 457, but it died in committee, what happens now? Do we still?
So we can address that since it's still on the agenda. It did not make any additional progress at the board, so there was no endorsement from this organization, so to speak. But we can address that when we get to item 3. Thank you for asking the question. All right.
Do you want me to make the corrections to the minutes and then present them, I guess, the August meeting?
Sure.
Could we make a motion tonight to approve them as amended and
Yes.
and not have to
I'm
bring
also
them?
fine with that. I'm also fine with that. If you want to make the motion, go ahead and make the
I'd
motion.
like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as amended with the notations that were made.
More second?
Perfect. All right. If we could have a roll call vote.
Okay. Thank you. Motion to approve the minutes from the April 10th, 2025 meeting as amended with the comments that we had by Bybee, second by Moore. Take a roll call vote. I'm going to call you by cities. Campbell,
Aye.
Cupertino,
Aye.
Gilroy, Los Altos, not here. Los Altos Hills.
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay. Los Gatos,
Yes.
Milpitas, and Montessorino are, Montessorino is here.
What are we
We're-
voting on?
We're voting on
The
this
minutes.
minutes with the
Aye.
amendments. Okay, thank you.
Peter's also locked in.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Montano, do you want to vote on accepting the minutes, which will be amended? Mayor Montano? I can come back to you if you want
Are you calling on me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Aye.
to. Thank you. Morgan Hill?
Abstain.
I'm sorry, I did not catch that.
Abstain.
Okay.
Morgan Hill.
We cannot hear you. Is she muted?
You're
I
on
can't
mute.
see that she's muted.
No, I wasn't.
We have
Hold on.
it before.
You do like a thumbs up to indicate yes?
Yeah.
There we go.
Is that an aye?
Thumbs up, I guess.
Did you give us a thumbs up?
Yes, she
Yes.
did.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Mountain View,
Aye.
Palo Alto,
Yes.
San Jose,
Yes.
Santa Clara is not here yet. Saratoga,
Aye.
Sunnyvale,
Yes.
motion passes with 1 abstention.
Very good. All right. Item 2, chair update. Just a very quick note that most bills at this point will have had to have at least made their way through their policy committees in their house of origin in order to make it to the rest of the way through the legislative process this year. So, for example, as Councilmember Kang had noted before, SB 457, which we considered at our last meeting, failed to make it through those policy committees, so it will not have a pathway toward being approved this year, and it would now be considered a 2-year bill. Some bills, like another one that we have on the agenda for today, SB 753, because it is not a fiscal bill and has not yet gotten out of all of its policy committees, still has a little bit more time, about another week or two before it has to be able to get to the floor too. Currently, that bill is anticipated to still be able to make it to the Senate floor. With that, we will move on to, unless there are members of the public who want to comment on this item, or any members of the committee.
No one online?
Okay. All right, I will close that then and move on to item 3, potential list of bills for legislative action committee consideration, discussion, and possible action. I will quickly note for SB 457, as I said earlier, and as Councilmember Chang alluded to, this particular bill did not make it out of its first policy committee. It got one sole vote in Senate Housing, and so it will not be able to proceed this year. That said, I did reach out to the author, Senator Becker, and he has not yet indicated whether he intends to continue moving forward with this vehicle. So I would ask that, just in the interest of time, that we consider this one again in the fall, when the author will have a clearer idea of what he wants to do with it. Are there any comments on that posture?
Yeah, I think that's the appropriate angle. I was really involved in this whole thing, as was our legal department. And he wants to find a way back and doesn't quite know what it is right now. So I think what you're suggesting is correct.
Okay.
I second that. He has been working with other council members, including me as well, from other cities.
Okay.
And it's very important to my city as well.
Okay. All right. Very good. With that, then we will move on to sub item A, AB 650. I wanted to start with this one because AB 650 we did have some discussion of in our last meeting. Townsend very kindly provided us with a rundown of what this bill does. So just to refresh everyone's memory, it would do the following. It would require HCD to develop standardized reporting formats for affirmatively furthering fair housing programs by the end of 2026. It would require HCD to determine the existing and projected housing need for each region 3 years prior to the next scheduled revision of cities' housing elements rather than the current standard. It would also expand the period that cities and counties have to create RHNA subregions so that they can share their RHNA allotments. It would also require that from the 7th RHNA cycle onward that the allocation methodology, so not just the actual allocation, but the methodology for how they're going to be distributed to individual cities within a region, would have to be developed at least 2.5 years prior to the scheduled revision of housing elements. And then one additional thing that it does is that it also requires that when HCD returns a housing element draft to a city that it has said is not willing to certify, that it has to explain what the draft is missing and what the city needs to do in order to comply. At the time that we last reviewed this bill, it also had a number of provisions about the builder's remedy. Those have all since been amended out of it. So that's an important piece to note. With that, I'll open it up for some initial discussion and questions.
One more after Vice Mayor Moore.
Sure.
I really appreciate that they're going to try to help out with the affirmatively furthering fair housing portion. As you recall from the city of Cupertino, we had I don't know, somewhere between 7 and 14 meetings trying to figure out what they were looking for. And it was so ambiguous and really difficult. So I really appreciate that. And I like all the things that they're suggesting in here. Since Becker's bill didn't do very well, I'm concerned that this one, even if we do support it, that it might suffer a similar fate. But I would like us to support it.
If it makes you feel a little bit more solid on this one, it got through its policy committees, or I should say at least it got through its first policy committee, it got through its first policy committee unanimously. So
Good. And this was the Cal Cities supported.
Cal Cities has supported, not just supported it, has sponsored it.
Yeah. Great.
Mind you, removing the provisions about the builder's remedy seem to have been key to this bill advancing. So
So, I have a comment on the next time when you print these, can you, tell us which ones Cal Cities has supported and which one they haven't?
sure, there's a summary sheet that I did provide to
It'd be nice to have it next to it.
Shally. Did that go out with everything?
Yes.
I sent whatever
the
you
packet.
sent me.
Okay, yeah, because it does include whether the League of Cities supported it or not, and if it was available, a link to the letter supporting it. This one's a little unique because it's an actual Cal Cities sponsored bill as opposed to one that they just supported or opposed for that matter.
And I did see that letter is there, just to confirm. I was reading through in the packet.
I have a cold, so I can't, it's hard for me to
Okay,
hear.
the package includes the details of the bill as well as the fact sheet, which has listed that it's Cal City sponsored.
Okay.
My clarifying question was, so I think you partially answered it. The builder's remedy provisions have been removed, which is very disappointing. Any specific reason or just to move forward with whatever reform is possibly able to get the support?
So we had a little bit of that discussion last time, and I think that what's afoot here is that there were two bills that passed in the last cycle that spoke to the builder's remedy, AB 1893 and AB 1886, which both speak to sort of timing on builder's remedy projects, et cetera. What counts as certification, but doesn't count as certification, who gets to say that you're certified as a city. And because those passed overwhelmingly in the legislature, it's a little hard to walk that back, especially now if there are projects that could have their entitlements impacted by some change in the law. And if that's the case, it could also trigger a taking. So I could see why there would be some reticence to revisit all of this when it was just addressed in the last cycle.
Okay.
That's not to say that the legislators don't seem to be sensitive to this issue and wanting additional clarity, but that's sort of what's at the heart of AB 650 in general is more time, greater clarity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any members of the public wishing to comment on AB 650?
None online.
None online. Okay, all right. Seeing none in the room, is there anyone who would like to offer a motion for us to take a position on the bill?
Or I move that we take a support position. Would like to add that there is a letter from Cal Cities, a sample that might be of use for the board. Going a second?
I'll second. Ivy.
All right.
Picking up it's A more, not all more. And what was the bill number?
This is AB 650.
Okay. Okay. Motion to recommend that the Board of Directors take a support position on AB 650 was made by Kay Moore, seconded by Bybee. And I'll call you by cities. Sunnyvale,
Yes.
Saratoga,
Yes.
Santa Clara,
Yes.
San Jose,
Yes.
Palo Alto,
Yes.
Mountain View. Yes. Morgan Hill. Oh, I don't think she's online anymore.
Yes. Did you call me?
Morgan Hill.
No,
Oh, okay.
You
Sorry,
dropped
I
her
can't
away.
hear.
Did we notice for
My
her?
phone is-
Yes, we do.
That creates a
That's the
problem.
problem.
She's dropped. But
I'm
is she noticed? Is she noticed on the?
Please noticed on the cover page of the agenda.
Okay, that's a serious problem because if she's noticed for the appearance, then her site is not open to the public to make comment.
In case of technical challenges,
No.
I don't know,
No.
if I may, Chair. In my city, we have provision.
Is she? Been there, done that.
Yeah.
No, I understand. I'm just sharing a comment, or we can't even do that, you're saying.
We're done.
You can, I mean, we can continue to discuss it, but we can't take any action if the space is not open and available to the public per the Brown Act.
Are those the rules of cities association? Because my city has clarified the policy that in case of a technical situation like that we are able to proceed with the meeting in the interest. And so I will leave it at that.
So I do put it on the the third page of the agenda, the public comment. What Sunnyvale puts down, which is that technical difficulties may occur and the meeting will still continue. I don't know what that means about people attending remotely and the voting. So, okay, does that mean that we cannot complete the votes?
Yeah, I don't think that you can complete the vote until she's back on.
Can you call her?
Yeah, if you can call her, that would be sufficient.
Chair, if we are using Sunnyvale's rules and the body feels that we can continue, can we continue?
Are we using Sunnyvale's rules? I don't think we are.
Charlie just said that's what was noticed on the
They're using
agenda.
their language, but I don't know that we're using their rules for.
Let me see what's on the notice.
Oh.
In the meanwhile, if you want to give her a call, that would be appreciated.
Hold on her right now.
Oh.
If you want to call Jenny, you can, but I've run into this problem twice in Cupertino and once at ABAG Executive Board and
Because one of our council members was in an airport terminal and he needed to catch a plane. And so as soon as he left, his meeting ended. And if his meeting ended, the way the state laws written,
The
they
meeting
can't
may
jump on
occur
Zoom.
even if technical
Even if they
difficulties
could
prevent
find
online
another way to
participation.
Come watch our meeting. Because
The meetings-
Send me the voicemail.
So she-
Oh, did you?
Supposed to be at that.
I just called Marilyn. She sent me the voicemail, but she might not recognize my number. I have a lot of numbers to people that may not have my number.
Location.
Can I?
No,
Do you
because
mind
he-
sharing your number with me?
Yeah, I am. Oh.
Get the tell.
Should I pay her money?
What we have is that the meeting will continue even if technical difficulties prevent online participation.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're running into.
That's what you guys.
No.
so I.
No, that's what we have on this agenda.
Yeah, it is on here. I could see that being, an issue if you're just talking about, say, offering remote access for someone to just zoom in.
And this look.
But this isn't about that. This is who was noticed for what location.
Public. Because there's no connection.
I interpret this as a technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Like I
I'll
said,
walk
I've
out.
run into it more than once.
Yeah.
If Jenny says we can proceed, that'll be a different story.
Supposed to.
Chair, she's not picking up my call.
So, once you say where you're gonna be, that's where you're supposed to be. Can't move. Can't change it. That's the law.
Big surprise how many of y'all I have all your numbers.
What each city's adopted rules are.
And we learned it.
Is it of you or I don't save anybody's
Away
numbers?
was,
Huh?
I don't save
No, it's the
anybody's
same guy.
numbers
It
and
was
I like to
away.
guess who it is from our past
she still
checks.
had to keep her meeting spaces
wow.
open even though she was sick for some of them. And- but
Chaotic.
it was the same council member.
Well, I had to
He
step
was-
away for another meeting.
His Wi-Fi was unstable.
Oh.
And so we took like a 5-minute break, which turned into a 10-minute break. So we could get back on, and then we could continue. But that's when our previous attorney told us if he doesn't get back on.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And usually you have
To see if I could get away with having it
Mhm.
30 minutes and right back.
That's a big shut down.
Our meetings to
Mhm.
continue provided that. There was why.
Mhm.
What happened?
To be like, can you text me when it's time to vote and I'll just run in?
Oh, lovely.
Sorry.
She was on there, but it didn't sound like.
But
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not sure.
I-
would be.
Oh, she was doing like the
Like,
thumbs
Yeah,
up.
she had to based on audio, but I don't know if she muted herself or didn't.
But
I'm not-
Well, that's-
Oh.
sure,
Sudden she
and there-
disappeared.
There's just
Monolithic.
a risk.
If
but
the agenda's
risk
been
is-
posted at
is
Morgan
anything.
Hill, then it needs to be
Ah,
accessible there.
Yeah.
If we're using Sunnyvale's language, does that mean we're
Yeah.
using Sunnyvale's rules?
So it made for.
Well,
So
so
we have
ordinarily,
to
that's how I would interpret that,
That's how-
unless we have
Yeah.
something contrary,
Yeah,
you,
developer, it's just
you,
Tuesday night,
well,
we had a mad developer.
again, this is their interpretation.
Project that was
Right.
trying to get.
You don't know the
Change.
name.
Is that under
The
public
opportunity to
participation?
Examine this.
Yeah.
And they were all there to.
Substantial
Yeah,
compliance.
it's on the.
Vice Mayor.
See, this is the public participation.
But there's two vice mayor Moores.
Yeah, of Los Gatos. That's Jenny
that's-
Quinn. She's saying the JPA clearly, can you step up?
Yeah.
She's saying the JPA clearly says we follow Los Gatos's policy.
Okay.
Stratus's policy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
She-
that
We
is
should use
true,
your
but
language.
it's not a technical issue.
So that's why I'm giving her
That's right,
the,
the JP.
I
was
gave
setting,
her
but-
the background. That
Okay.
according to Cupertino, both Vice Mayor Kitty Moore
Mhm.
and Black Chair JR.
For my record, does anyone know when Mayor Pro Tem Liebers dropped off? 'Cause I'm sorry, I wasn't looking I didn't
She
know
did
if-
vote for the consent minutes
But then, what- okay.
at some point.
But it's not a technical issue.
No, this is.
It's a public participation
Correct.
issue. And if somebody in Morgan Hill wanted to speak or attend under public comment, they don't have that opportunity.
I don't
So-
know the rules. I can let him know.
Yeah, so I would tend to agree with that view. This isn't a technical issue. In my view, is we noticed it for you to be able to participate via Zoom. Maybe something goes wrong with our connection with Zoom. If you're not able to participate that way, that's under our control. But the Brown Act has very specific noticing requirements for remote participation, and the location has to remain available to the member of the public to protect their interest in being able to participate from said noticed location. So I would tend to agree that that's not a technical issue,
Yeah.
at least not in the sense that I think any city would have the power to regulate
Right.
in this, right? They can regulate what their own Zoom is. They can't regulate
Did we try
the
and call
state's own
her?
statute. I think the open question here is what might be considered substantial compliance with the Brown Act. And I don't know that we have a good answer to that.
Yeah.
We should sponsor a bill.
What is the technical problem right now?
I agree.
What's the technical problem right now? You don't have internet?
A technical difficulty would be a situation like
No,
that.
no, right now, what problem are we having?
Maryland,
Maryland's location is no longer available to the public.
Her location is not available.
Yeah.
Just that, because she's not set up for it, or
No, she was set up, but she dropped off.
she can't communicate with us because of
It's
her.
not even about her. She doesn't even have to be in the room. She could leave, but the room has to be
Her room cannot
accessible to
communicate with
somebody.
us.
Pardon?
Her room cannot
Yes.
communicate with us.
Yeah.
Because she's having interconnection problems, not us. Other people can.
We don't know. She might have just left because maybe she was having trouble with the audio.
Is that not
We-
a technical issue?
We don't know.
A few meetings ago, we had a technical issue where we were losing connection to the internet. Like, this room was losing connection to the internet,
What you call them?
and that would be a technical problem.
Yeah.
But we don't know under what circumstances the mayor pro tem just left the meeting.
But we have internet connection right now.
Oh, yeah.
So
We do.
people
We're
can zoom
fine.
in directly
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
using the Zoom
In
address.
the alternative, you could call Mark Turner.
Thank you.
Okay,
He would still have to go to that location.
So let's move on. I mean,
We can't.
That's her house.
Okay.
No.
She
Yeah.
thinks it's that we have to follow Los Gatos' policy, so I'm gonna call Los Gatos' attorney.
Okay.
This is so crazy.
Thanks,
And
Bob.
in the meantime, are we live? Shall we?
We are. We are. We are still live streaming to YouTube, and I'm still recording it as a backup.
so just to share with you, when I called Attorney Janie Quinn, Cities Association attorney, she's very clear that the JPA rules refer to Los Gatos' policy.
That's very strange.
And if
No, I would agree.
I'm
with
not
you.
an attorney, I'm just sharing my conversation with the Cities Association attorney. And her question was, is there a quorum in the room? I said, yes. And I explained to her what happened. So our next question was if we have a Los Gatos representative here. And that's why I gave the phone to Vice Mayor Rob Moore of Los Gatos, so that he could confirm what Los Gatos policy. I don't know. I'm not, I don't know what is the right thing. I'm just sharing with you my conversation with Janie.
How do you know that she's having a problem connecting to us? She may have just left the
We
room.
don't know.
So if we don't know, why are we assuming there's a technical problem?
Yeah, we don't know if she just left.
So we don't know there's a technical problem. We can go on. We don't know if she just left the room.
Annie said,
But one way or the other, the space is not available
How do you know that?
well, that we referred to.
because she's not there.
That it's in our
He could have
JPA.
zoomed
I
on,
asked
gotten
about
up and
that,
walked
why
out of the
Los
room.
Gatos isn't
That
on.
would have been okay,
Yep.
but the room is not there.
Policy is addressing the Brown Act accurately.
It's a legal.
There, somebody has to connect from there. If nobody's connected from there, you won't see the
are
room.
you leaving?
So how do you know she's just didn't just log off and left?
That's a separate practical issue, right? You've identified a flaw in the legislation, but the requirement.
I think
is
we can
the-
make that determination now whether,
Yes, it
because
was.
we don't know for sure that room is locked up.
The next one.
Unless we know for sure it's locked out, we don't know.
Meeting right now.
And we know that there's nobody
We should be
there
taking
with
a
an
video
active
break. This is-
connection to
We're,
this
feel like we're
meeting.
deliberating.
That could be something as simple as a phone that's available. It doesn't even have to be Zoom. It just needs to be a connection. You should be able, as a member of the public, to go to that location and be able to, without having to do anything of your own, participate in the meeting. That's the idea.
Well, and it's also applicable to the board meeting at 7 because it's been listed as,
Correct.
so.
So we have to solve this problem one way or the other. And
Is it possible just to pause this meeting until it gets?
we could pause it. We could also proceed with some sort of, informational discussion.
So she sent an email.
Uh-huh.
I can read the email out to you all. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. The Mayor Pro Tem says, Zoom dropped and I am unable to rejoin the meeting. I will try to join the next meeting. I have no idea what the problem is.
She can just call us and leave her phone open.
Use your phone.
At the same location.
Yeah, as long as she's at the same location, it's fine.
Oh, she's back.
Please register that Moore has left at whatever time it is. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Back.
8605.
Use your phone.
JR, she's back.
Oh, excellent.
Oh,
Yeah, for some reason it dropped.
Use your iPhone.
Background view,
Call it.
alternately, what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a phone number we can give her to call?
I don't know where she went.
She's back. She's back on.
I'm
now.
back. Can you hear me?
You want to send her a phone number she can call in so that she can just be on
She's
it,
right here. She's right here.
but she can't talk.
But if she can't talk, what's the point?
So have her just call in on a
Unless
telephone.
she can do
Can
something
you
with-
hear me? Can anyone hear me? No?
Well, we still have.
Katie's over there if you want to call her.
Can,
I don't
do you
have
want me
the
to call
number.
her?
You can call her.
Just for the sake of everyone, Loscato says we continue meeting. And
She's
we,
back.
we just had this issue actually where Rob Rennie was calling in from Italy. He dropped off, we continued meeting.
I think that's adventurous and I wouldn't encourage it for any public hearing or anything that is likely to see legal challenge, but I'll just say that much.
Yeah, we've done the same thing in Los Altos.
the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's only 2 years in incarceration for the violation, so.
I'll take it. That's.
Yeah,
Ankle bracelet.
ankle bracelet, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a nice prison though, federal prison.
I think she's still moving.
Wine bar.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I think she drove off anyway.
Okay, I called.
Do we have quorum?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so we
I
can
think we should
continue.
continue.
Okay. So should we need to read, well, the vice mayor is not here for the motion that she, and I did not.
Well, she made the motion.
Yeah.
She,
Seconded.
it was seconded, and then we noticed that Morgan Hill was not here, so I think we have a motion that's valid. I think you can continue the vote.
Continue to vote.
The maker.
You can change the maker of the motion if you want, just to clean it up.
Okay. So would someone else like to make a motion? Oh, someone's
So
calling.
moved.
Hello?
Hi, it's Marilyn. Sorry. You asked me to call you back.
Oh,
My
yeah.
speaker.
Is there a second?
I'm gonna put you on speaker,
Okay.
okay, so
Okay.
that you can participate.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No,
Uh,
it's okay. You're on speaker now.
Okay. Zoom dropped me and then I couldn't get back into the meeting.
Ah,
I can see you on my computer and I'm talking to you on my phone.
Second.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for rejoining, because otherwise it would have made things very difficult for continuing this meeting.
Can you please mute your computer?
Pardon me?
Can you please mute your computer?
Vice Mayor Rob Moore made the motion and
Can you mute from there as the
Oh.
host?
Okay, I'll mute her. Great. Okay. Motion to take, motion.
You just turn on the volume.
Oh, no, she has to mute on her.
Yeah. She-
Can you please mute your computer? Alright, you don't, I'll do it. Okay, I'm gonna turn the volume all the way down. Thank you. Motion to recommend that the City Association Board of Directors take a support position on AB 650 was made by R. Moore, seconded by Bybee.
No, then we can't hear her.
And I'll now take roll call vote.
She's on Zoom.
Sunnyvale?
Yes.
We'll come back to Saratoga. Santa Clara?
Yes.
Saratoga?
I,
Okay, San Jose?
Aye.
Palo Alto?
I,
Mountain View?
Where does she go?
Where'd Emily go?
Keep going.
I'll come back to
Her
Emily.
stuff is here, so.
Okay, Morgan Hill? You're just,
increase the volume.
Morgan Hill, how do you vote on the motion? She said yes, thank you. Monte Sereno?
Aye.
Milpitas?
Yes.
Los Gatos?
Yes.
Los Altos Hills?
Yes.
Los Altos and Gilroy are absent. Cupertino is not here. Campbell?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion, should I wait for Emily's vote?
We can
she's in
reopen
another
it
meeting.
for her to register a vote later if she so
You
chooses.
had to take a call.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Moving on then to SB 79. SB 79 by Scott Wiener would make several changes to areas in immediate proximity to high capacity, high frequency transit stops. There is an explainer note that you should have all received from the most recent committee examination of this bill, because it does have a rather lengthy series of transit-oriented development stop tiers that would be too much to explain right now. But suffice it to say that the two major changes that it would make is to, in essence, upzone the area within a specified distance of transit stops, certain types of transit stops, allow cities to, if they can match the capacity that the upzoning would apply to, escape from the effects of the bill. It also allows transit agencies on land that they own or lease to apply their own transit-oriented development standards. So those are the major features of the bill. It would be helpful if Emily were here. She has actually pined on this one before.
I can mark as absent for the last vote.
Sure.
That's fine.
Any questions or comments so far? Suds?
Well, this is from our staff. They say while there are aspects of the bill that the city supports, there are also concerns regarding allowing residential in industrial zoned areas. So we have a lot of industrial zoned areas that we would like to maintain, but this overrides that. So
it does note specifically that the designation is light industrial, and I don't know what type of industrial we're speaking of here, or if the type of industrial uses that might affect you would be embraced by what the statute considers light industrial.
Yep. We haven't had a formal discussion about it yet, but we've had informals, and we feel like this is a blunt instrument and would immediately infringe on a substantial portion of most of our residential neighborhoods that are anywhere near a train station. So I think as a city, we're likely to oppose it. And simply for that reason.
Okay.
That it's just, this isn't sort of NIMBY stuff. It's just sort of the percentage of
microphones here.
sort of possible destruction if we're fully built out will just sort of change most of the leafy neighborhoods in the city.
Got it. Just out of curiosity, what is your view then of, say, the option to basically turn it off by rezoning sufficient capacity to accommodate what would have otherwise been allowed under the statute?
But I'm not understand what you're.
There's an option built into the statute that effectively turns off this upzoning, the blunt instrument as you described it, if the city undertakes its own action to upzone sufficient capacity in the area that otherwise would have been affected.
Well, it's still, it's more or less forcing an upzone, as I understand that, which not something in major residential neighborhoods we want to do. We're looking at even one of our builders remedy items projects is right on the train station site, which we're totally good with, and we're totally good with height. Now we're just having debates about how many stories.
Got it.
So we're not trying to get rid of density by train stations, but this one is like steps in the train station compared to entire neighborhoods on both sides of the tracks will be. I know we would not do the alternative as you explained to me.
Got it. Is there a proximity that would make more sense to you? Because there's clearly a difference between something that steps away from a station and something that's half a mile.
Maybe, but maybe, but I'm not up to speed on it enough.
Okay.
Opine on it.
Okay. Anyone else?
So I'm against this bill because it's just going to encroach, takes away our local control again, encroach into our light industrial areas, even though you might have a light rail track near it, and then this, to me, that this will allow encroachment. So I'm against this bill.
Okay. Is it specific to the light industrial or to?
Light industrial.
Okay. What would you say then to a version of the bill that didn't include light
Sorry, I
industrial?
can't hear you.
What would you say then to a version of the bill that didn't have the light industrial in it?
Still can't hear you.
So if light industrial zones were excluded, would that change your view of the bill?
No,
Okay.
I'm still against it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Anyone else?
I think it does.
I'll just chime in. So Los Gatos this bill would not impact Los Gatos very much. We don't have high quality transit and we have very, so that, sort of takes us off the list. One of our colleagues, Sergio Lopez, I thought did a really good job talking about this bill in Sacramento and the way it would help his community. So I think there are definitely merits to it, but I hear the concerns about industrial. So I think, we could consider a position of support, if you exclude the industrial, but it also sounds like we might not get there with a majority.
Okay.
Can I make another point? So also, there is no, in the language, there's nothing in there about affordable housing. That's it. So that's another layer that.
So directly that's true. However, it does incorporate any local jurisdiction's affordable housing inclusionary zoning ordinance. So if you have one, and most cities do, or they've committed to adopting one as part of their new housing element, it would still be enforceable. So you would, as a feature of new development that has to comply with that regulation, would still have to provide affordable housing. But you are correct that there is no direct requirement for affordable housing.
But Mayor Pro Tem has a question.
Yeah.
Right. Mayor Pro Tem Liebers, you raise your hand? Oh, 1 second. Can you try again?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm using my phone. I have not personally read this bill, but is eminent domain coming to play in any way?
No.
What was the question?
Does eminent domain come into play in any way? The answer is no.
Yeah. Hi, Sats. Do you have a cold too?
No, I just have persistent cough.
Yeah, my understanding is, look, we don't have any transportation, so we're probably going to abstain.
I will say, in looking through the list of supporting groups and individuals and opposing groups and individuals, the list is pretty lengthy on both sides of this bill. And there are no cities in Santa Clara County that have taken a position for or against at this point. Of the cities that have opposed, overwhelmingly, they are smaller cities that have some sort of transit component in them or are coastal zone cities.
And that's also always been my concern for the state to keep getting into what local jurisdictions can do.
Sure.
I mean, just principally, I think we're in a better position to decide what's needed or not needed. And especially this particular author seems to like to do a lot of state control stuff. That's a difficult.
It's definitely an ambitious bill.
Yeah.
There is, just for the record, there is one city that does support it openly. That is West Hollywood. West Hollywood. And we do have a number of local electeds who have signed up to support the bill. I think Vice Mayor Moore noted, for example, Mayor Sergio Lopez was one of the principal witnesses in support of the bill. So we do have people in the county who do support it, who are on our board. I have not found any individual council members who have registered opposition.
But right now, if a city wants to do this, they can do it anyway.
Sure, you can always upzone. It'll be more costly, obviously, right? You've got to go through a CEQA process. This would not require any of that. It would exempt it all from CEQA.
Good point.
Any other thoughts?
I was gonna say, being that I think we only have 10 minutes of this meeting left,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like we're gonna take a position on this. Move on.
If you want to make a motion.
Do we need a motion
Well, I
to
can
not
continue
take
to watch it
action?
if you want, or you can make a motion that you don't take a position, or you can.
Yeah, I think I don't think we need a motion. I don't need a motion.
You can just say it was discussed and no action taken.
That's fine.
It's SC 79.
SB 79, yes. Then
Cortese bill.
we have the Cortese bill. We can probably get through it in 10 minutes. It's relatively straightforward, even though it maybe doesn't look that way on its face. And Councilmember Casey will have a little bit of an advantage over you all on this one because San Jose City Council discussed it on Tuesday. But basically, the issue here, as Senator Cortese describes it, is that right now there is existing legislation that regulates how cities and counties can impound or fine the owners of shopping carts that wind up abandoned in neighborhoods. There's a significant amount of notice that is required to be given to the shopping cart owner as identified on the shopping cart before the city can take any action to either impound or fine. The fines are capped. This bill would change those provisions to make it considerably easier to either impound the shopping cart in question or to fine up to a reasonable fee that you could establish the same way that you would set any other fee for a service provided. And Councilmember Casey, not to put you on the spot, if you have anything else you'd like to add to it based on what San Jose did on Tuesday.
No, you summed it up well. There's
Okay.
not much
All
more to add to it. Yeah, just an issue, particularly when it gets into the waterways and retrieving the carts become a burden on us, and it's one of the externalities that you deal with. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
So we have an ordinance in our city, means retrieval of the carts. We hired somebody, but I feel that it should be up to the cities for them. It should not be mandated from the state. Plus it punishes the business owner.
So this doesn't mandate that the city do anything. It allows the city more latitude.
What?
It allows the city more latitude. Right now, the city's hands are kind of tied. They have to follow a very specific procedure. This bill would relax those procedures and allow cities, if they so choose, to do something more incisive. So, for example, they could impound more quickly, or they could change the way that they fine individual the shopping cart owners across their city.
But it'll still be up to the cities.
Yes.
Okay, I just don't
This
want.
this expands the ability of the city
Okay.
to regulate its own space and combat blight.
Yeah. Okay.
And then who pays for the cart retrieval? And
So
the
that's
fines
just it.
and-
If the fine is if you adopt a new fine that you can substantiate, right? This is the cost to go and get it, to impound it, and then to have the to notify the owner that it's there to be retrieved, then you could charge that cost. It's sort of similar to I'm sure most of you have cities that have regulations around, say, campaign signs. And if the campaign sign is in a place where it's not supposed to be, your public works department might impound it. And you can then go and retrieve it and pay the amount of money that it cost them to go and get it. It's a similar sort of notion, rather than it having to sit there and having to go through at least 3 days of notice for the shopping cart owner to go and retrieve it, and then for us to only be able to charge $50 to go and get it. It's really, for a lot of cities, it's not worth that. It's worth a lot more money to go send someone to pick it up and pull it back, and then it's still, the property of that shopping cart owner. So, yeah, this is mild flexibility that allows for cities to be able to regulate their own space. Does that answer your?
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you, JR.
I haven't been following this, but I just read it. There's no provision in here for, say, finding somebody who takes a shopping cart. Is
we
that
could,
theft of a
yeah, we
shop?
would call that theft.
That would be theft.
Theft or conversion, depending upon how you want to address it.
That's too bad.
That's already in the code, right? For
Yes,
stealing
yeah,
a shopping
yeah.
cart.
Taking an item without the consent of the owner, with the intent of, permanently depriving him of possession, is theft. If you bring it as a civil action, it's called conversion. Same idea. I don't know who's going to bring that claim over a shopping cart, which kind of underscores the problem. It's a low value thing, but as a matter of pollution and blight, it's a bigger deal.
I used to remember at the airports when you pulled a cart, you put some money in it, but then when you returned it, they gave you a quarter back for
Yep.
every cart you took. They don't do that anymore. That might be a good system if they started saying, okay, if you bring a cart back, Safeway or whoever will pay some money for people to bring the cart back, and you get a lot of carts coming back automatically.
I'm sure the industry would find ways to adapt. Yes.
Some stores in Los Angeles do exactly that.
Mhm.
So
I think in Palo Alto, we would not enforce the law. It's just, we got a lot more things to worry about, even in our nice, safe town, for police to be doing that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be interested in endorsing it.
Anyone else?
But as far as the law is concerned, it's authorizing the cities to do more
Yes.
than they can. So
Yes.
as far as the cities are concerned, if they don't want to do it, they don't have to.
Yeah. From a local control
From a local
standpoint,
control
this is something that gives you more
Yeah.
power
Yeah,
rather
it's
than
a helpful additional tool in the toolbox.
Right now, at least as of the last committee analysis, support came from the city of San Jose, which is the sponsor, Mayor Matt Mahan, Mayor Todd Gloria of the city of San Diego, California Contract Cities Association, California State Association of Counties, the cities of Concord and Newark, the League of Cities, and the Santa Clara Valley Water District. And there is no registered opposition other than the California Grocers Association, which I think is obvious.
One quick comment. So since people tend to move the carts of their own, my city doesn't have a position on this, and I have not discussed with anyone. My only concern is, in this scenario, what the Grocers Association may be saying is they get impacted when they are not the ones who are taking the carts away. And just raising that question for discussion.
And then there's also an assumption that these carts are empty, but we all know they're not empty. So how does this law
So I don't think that this is necessarily contemplating the situation where you have somebody who, say, is unhoused and has decided to use the cart to shuffle things around. This is really addressing a situation where the cart is abandoned somewhere. Hence the name of the recovery of abandoned shopping carts.
And so, as I understand, all you're doing is current law requires the city to give the grocery store a 3-day notice that it's going to do it.
And caps the fees.
And then caps the fee. But this new law would say, go ahead and just do it.
And you can
send
do
them a
real
bill.
fee recovery based upon the actual cost to provide the service.
So it'll be up to the grocery stores if they're losing money to come up with a more economical system or to make sure their carts are not taken.
To some degree, it's a little like weed abatement, you know, part of owning a business is not creating a nuisance. These can create a nuisance, so.
If you're ready, I can make a motion.
Sure.
To support the bill.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion to recommend that the Board of Directors take a support position on SB 753 by Elahi, seconded by Casey. And I will take a roll call vote. Okay, Huxley by City. Campbell?
Abstain.
Okay. Cupertino is not here. Gilroy, Los Altos are not here. Los Altos Hills?
Yes.
Okay. Los Gatos?
Yes.
Milpitas?
No.
All
Okay.
right.
Monte Sereno?
Yes.
Morgan Hill? She said yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, Mountain View, I'm sorry, Mountain View is not here. Palo Alto,
No.
San Jose,
Yes.
Santa Clara,
Abstain.
Saratoga,
Abstain.
Sunnyvale.
Abstain.
I think we only got, yeah.
No problem.
So this one was a yes. So we have, I'm sorry, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 yeses.
That motion fails.
So talk at 6:30.
All right. With that, I think we've reached the end of our time. I want to thank everyone for moving through the difficulties of today. If you do have ideas for bills, like, for example, some reform to the Brown Act to deal with what we had there today, that would probably be a good idea. If you have thoughts on other legislation that is turtling its way through Sacramento, now is a good time to bring them to our attention. I do have a rather extensive watch list that is there. That said, between the beginning of the year and now, a number of bills have gotten contents that may now interest you that weren't interesting before. So I'd encourage you all to either go back to your staff in your respective cities, ask them, questions about what we should be taking a look at, to act as a body, or things that you might be interested in individually. With that, I will take any remaining public comment on.
No one.
No, we're done. Okay, so
Okay.
we are finished. Thank you.
Suggestions?
Yep, we're adjourned.